Hey everybody, good morning. It's me, Beth Maitland, at Drama Queen Bee Quilt Studio. Having trouble saying that this morning. I think I haven't had enough coffee. It's Thanksgiving weekend, and I wanted to show you my work in progress, so it's a little bit different video this morning. We'll talk about it just briefly, but I want to give you a tour. This is half of the project, and I've been following along with Roxy's Journal of Stitching, Volume 8, the Gathered Quilts project, and I had told Rachel this summer when we met at class in Australia that I wasn't going to be able to do a large version, but this is sort of my mini version, but 50% of it. I'm making a large tote bag for when I work in Los Angeles and take my things into work. And so I have gathered a whole bunch of miniature versions for the prompts. And I just wanted to catch you up because I finished a bunch of my classes for the year, my last class of slow stitching. And now all of a sudden I have a little bit of time in between holiday planning and adventures to get a little bit of work done on this. So here's what we've got. The prompts include vintage linens and embroideries and doilies and crochet and little motifs from vintage. Then what I did was I took a napkin. This is a Ralph Lauren cloth napkin, and the other half of the tote bag, the back it will be on it too. It's cotton and it's thick weave, so it's nice and strong and gives a little structure. The bag will be lined, which I'll show toward the end of my progress. But what I did was I just started cutting up pieces of my ruined and gathered vintage bits. This is a beautiful rose cross stitch, and it was part of the end of a napkin. I had a set of things that I got of this cross stitch in this color pink and these roses, a bunch of different things to go over chairs, little chair doilies, and to do table linens. There was a table runner, but all of them have moth holes or wear holes or bleach holes maybe from laundering. Anyway, that was a big part of it. And then I had some vintage little tiny 1-inch yo-yos that I added here, Suffolk Puffs. This puff I made, and then I transitioned onto this. Look at that beautiful crochet around the edge, part of a table runner, and the whole half of it was stained with rust. So I cut around it and used that for the top, and then started collaging all of my prompts on top. Favorite fabrics: there's some Tilda. There's a little scrap of Liberty. This with the lavender petals on the yellow flower was gifted to me by a packet in class in Australia by Fiona from A Little Red Hoop. And let's see, over here is a little more Tilda, just a little piece left. That's some Tim Holtz writing. I love script fabric, so that's some little Tim Holtz piece. This with kind of raspberry flowers in the background is a piece from a Sherry Iris little slow stitch kit that I bought with some embroidery floss. That's just a favorite. Lilies of the Valley and hydrangeas are my favorite flowers, along with peonies, and so that's a little favorite scrap. This is a corner of an embroidered hanky, and I took another embroidered hanky here with this rose insert, and this is so sheer and so see-through and tore along the stem, so I sewed over it, and I will tack down around it as I get that far. A little bit of some text, a little bird. All of these things I've started Kantha-ing down. They're all tacked down at least, and the Kantha is underway, but all of this will be Kantha in the background. And then here's another vintage piece, a basket, and this is going to be the bottom, and this will all fold under, and the construction is not entirely decided upon, but I still will Kantha all of this negative space. Another vintage Suffolk Puff from a vintage quilt. I'm going to thread paint this. Another piece of gifted, this is from a kit, either Fiona gave it to me or it was in a Sherry Iris pack. But again, these are all just little, and here's a little bit more underneath this piece. Then I've layered over the top of it. This is crocheted to go over the arm of a chair. There were two, and then one for the back of the chair. And I left this upside down so that I can embroider the body of the butterfly. So I'm gonna embroider here, and then I've added a little Suffolk Puff. So another little lace motif. I'm gonna do some of my own embroidery on top, which was one of the prompts. There are gifted things, there are thrifted things, there are vintage things, there are favorite things, there are fabric pieces. So I'm going down the prompt list. Oh, here's a laundry label, and a French laundry label. So there's hankies, like I said, and this. Rachel came around class in Australia in July, and she had found a bunch of things she stamped. So she gave me this. So this is from Rachel. One's from Fiona up here. So I've got all kinds of the prompts included in my very miniature version. So here's my coffee, the last of the pumpkins. They're going over the weekend, and my little candle. I'm gonna Kantha for a little while before I have to do horse chores downstairs. It's very early in the morning, and not a lot is going on in the neighborhood yet, so I haven't let the dogs out, and I haven't done my morning chores downstairs with the horses and stuff. So anyway, this is kind of how far I've come. I like the texture that's getting built in. I've decided to just Kantha randomly around the embroideries and to not over them, and I'll probably seed stitch areas that where Kantha is not sensible, and then I'm doing a variegated pink perlé in this piece. And again, I'm going to go around the embroidery, but I think this one I'm not going to do shapes around it. I'm just going to skip over it, like jump it and continue to have this be all vertical. This one I'm kind of going around the outsides of things and looping around. So that's my plan for now. On the other side of this, there's a second napkin that's going to be the back of it. I've got another whole bunch of stuff planned. I've got a beautiful in fairly good shape circular doily that's going to be the centerpiece, and then I'm going to build continuing prompts around that. So that's how my Roxy's Journal of Stitching Volume 8 Gathered Things project is coming along, and hilariously I'm going to do nature on the other side. There's a nature prompt, and like I said, going down the list, hey girls, we would love to have a list to make, like a checklist of the prompts. Maybe we do that toward the end, so that I can make sure that I put everything in, but I'll go back and review. And I've really enjoyed seeing everybody else's work, how beautifully everyone's doing, and all the creativity and the add-ons and the colorways and themes. Some people are doing, I think Corinne's is all blues, and bunnies, that's what it is. Corinne's is bunnies, and Karen's at Railway Cottage is blues and browns. Anyway, that's my so far so good little catch-up video. Hey, I hope everybody has a great weekend. Did you Black Friday? I hope everybody is, as the holidays begin and are underway now with shopping and planning and making, I hope everybody doesn't let this stress you out. Do some stitching if you're feeling a little overwhelmed. Sit down, breathe, light your candle, get your coffee, and get your favorite project out, and just do a little mindful stitching to relax and relieve all that stress and pressure that the holidays can often bring. And in the meantime, be productive and enjoy. Life is worth living, and we need to be right in the middle of it. So I hope you are, and I hope that you're having a great weekend. I hope you survived Black Friday if you participate in that. And once again, wishing everybody well. I'll be checking back in as my progress continues, and with a few more holiday makes on the list this week. All right. Much love, and thanks for joining me. Everybody take care. It's Beth Maitland from Drama Queen Bee Quilts. Raja, say good morning.